It's my body. You don't get to demand anything from me. My name is Derek Langston. I'm 33, a third-grade teacher at Westfield Elementary in Kansas City, Missouri for 8 years. When my wife, Madison, spoke those words, we'd been married 5 weeks and 2 days. Not once in that time had she allowed a touch, a fleeting kiss, a brush of hands, nothing. I sat on our brown leather couch, the one I'd bought 3 years ago when I thought I'd be alone forever, grappling with her words. We'd dated for 14 months, shared everything, been intimate before the wedding, lived together for 6 months. But the moment we exchanged vows at St. Catherine's Chapel, a wall went up. Madison, I'm not demanding. I'm asking why you won't even kiss me goodnight. She turned to her phone, scrolling, eyes distant. I told you my body, my choice. That phrase had become her shield. Thrown up when I asked why she slept in the guest room, why she pulled away at my parents' dinner, why she dismissed our first-month anniversary trip. I respect that, I said, voice tight. But we're married. You thought wrong, she replied, not looking up. I retreated to the kitchen, assembling a turkey and Swiss sandwich, my school lunch staple. Chewing, I realized this wasn't new. Back in March, during premarital counseling with Pastor Williams, Madison had said marriage was about security, not physical stuff. I'd thought it meant our bond was deeper than attraction. Now, staring at an empty mayo jar, I wondered if I'd missed the truth. The Madison in our living room was a stranger, not the woman who'd curled up beside me during movies, laughed at my math puns, or made coffee while I graded papers. Her cold, you thought wrong, hinted this was her plan all along. I met Madison at a teachers' conference 2 years ago. A school district social worker, she handled tough family cases with quiet focus, her rare smiles hard-earned. Over coffee downtown we talked for hours, her small-town Illinois roots, her parents' divorce at 12, learning people weren't what they seemed. I shared my dad's death in college, how teaching pulled me from darkness, how I'd nearly given up on love. For a year she fit seamlessly, chatting at school events, winning over my skeptical mum, but signs lingered, vague talk of stability over future dreams, insisting on separate accounts when we moved in, splitting bills despite my higher salary. During our engagement, she obsessed over wedding details, venues, flowers, but dodged honeymoon or long-term plans. When I mentioned kids, she'd say, "We'll see." In our last counseling session, Pastor Williams asked what we anticipated in marriage. I spoke of family and growing old together. Madison said a stable foundation for her career. I thought her reserve was nerves. Now, her phone scrolling indifference screamed honesty. She'd married for security, not love. The intimacy we'd shared, a performance to seal the deal. The breaking point came one November Tuesday. After a silent dinner, Madison retreated to the guest room. I stared at our wedding photos, hung 6 weeks earlier, and recalled Pastor Williams recording our sessions for notes, with our consent. The next day, during lunch, I called him. "Derek, how's married life?" "Not good. I need those recordings." Madison may have lied about her intentions. A pause. "That's serious. The recordings exist for 6 months. You both consented, so they're admissible." That evening, in my car, I faced Madison heating soup. "We need to talk about what you said in counseling, marriage as security, not intimacy." She froze. "What about it? Pastor Williams recorded us. You said things that don't match now." Her face paled. "You wouldn't use those. Did you ever want a real marriage?" She crossed her arms. "I gave you a wife, a partner. If you expected more, that's on you." I nodded. "Okay." In our bedroom, I researched Missouri annulment, laws, fraud, and misrepresentation as grounds. I filed the petition that Friday, citing her deception. Madison read the papers, rage flashing. "This is about sex." "No, it's about honesty. You lied about our marriage." "I never lied. I said I valued stability." "You told Pastor Williams intimacy wasn't important, that you married me for security, not love." Her face whitened. "Those were private, not when you break vows 5 weeks in." Over the weekend, she made frantic calls. Monday, she waited with coffee and toast, her first breakfast since our honeymoon. "Derek, marriage is an adjustment. We can work through this." "What changed?" I was harsh. "Intimacy matters. We can try." She touched my arm, the old Madison briefly resurfacing. "Why now?" "I'm scared," she said. "Marriage is big." Her words echoed Tuesday's. "If you expected more, that's your problem." "You're not scared," I said, removing her hand. "You're dodging fraud charges." Her face hardened. "My lawyer says you'll never prove it. I'll say you're lying about the recordings, that you're punishing my autonomy." "Okay," I said. "I understand your strategy." I called Janet Morris, my dad's estate lawyer. "Annulments are tough. she said, but with recordings of her admitting fraud. Your case is strong. At Pastor Williams's office, he handed me the envelope. I reviewed them. Derek Madison said things I didn't grasp then, but they're clear now. In my empty classroom, I listened to 6 hours of recordings. In June, Madison said she avoided emotionally demanding relationships, wanting a husband for stability. In July, she admitted physical intimacy wasn't her priority, expecting me to adapt. In August, she confirmed separate sleeping arrangements post-wedding, assuming I'd accept it. She'd planned this, banking on my compliance, thinking the recordings would stay buried. Janet reviewed them, stunned. This is textbook fraud. She admitted deceiving you. We filed a motion to include the recordings, requesting Madison return wedding gifts and cover legal costs. At the January hearing, her lawyer argued I was punishing her autonomy, claiming coercion. Janet countered with the recordings, Madison's voice detailing her plan. Judge Henderson replayed them, then fixed Madison with a stare. You entered marriage with no intent to fulfill its obligations, deceiving your husband. Do you dispute this? Madison faltered. I was honest about my feelings. Not with him, Henderson said. Granting the annulment, ordering Madison to return gifts and pay over $10,000 in fees. Marriage is a contract of good faith. You broke it. Outside, Madison pleaded. I'm sorry, Derek, I didn't mean for this. You meant exactly this, I said. You just didn't expect consequences. Word spread. Teachers and friends saw her detachment for what it was. Parents avoided her at work. Her supervisor suggested a transfer. 6 months later, Madison left for Illinois, her reputation in tatters. I learned to spot honesty over manipulation. Madison wanted security without love, but got a lesson in truth's cost. Sometimes the most important lesson isn't about love, it's about truth. If this story hit home, smash the like button and share it with someone who needs to see deception exposed. Comment about a time you faced a harsh truth. Subscribe to Revenge with Arion for more stories of betrayal, justice, and lessons that reshape lives.